The Course says the reason why there is no will but God's is because he loves you. And there is only love. There is no opposite to that. It's not a dualistic system where there can be good and evil. There is only good. There's not a dualistic system where there can be love and fear. There's only love. There's nothing else. And his will for you is that you know that. So to me, that's why you would want his will. Because his will for you is that you know the same thing he knows, that there is only love. Now, what might happen sometimes in our lives is that we have confused peace with pain. And so we think the things we want in this world of suffering and pain and being right while others are wrong, being better while others are worse, has brought us something. And so we think that those opposites are good. And we've built up a lot of, as the Course would say, ancient learning towards that. That there's a good person and a bad person. There are good ways and bad ways. And so it's hard for us to understand there is no will but God's because we live in a dualistic system where we believe that there is good and evil, where we believe that there is love and fear, where we believe that what somebody can do to us can diminish us in some way. And yet the message of Jesus was to show us that nothing can diminish your value, not even death. That was what he taught. That love was more powerful than hate. The love he felt, the love he extended, was more powerful than the hate of the people of the time. And that even if his body was no longer here, if his body was killed, his truth, the reality of him, lived on. So what Jesus taught what had nothing to do with this world and the things of this world. That's why he knew that there was no will but God's. There was no pain, there was no suffering, there was no death. There was only the will of God. The pain, the suffering, the death, these are the things of the world that we have made. And that is not our reality. Now, you may say, well, I still get, things hurt me. You know, I see people die. I see other things happening out here. And the Course says, well, we're not going to deny that you go through these things, that you go through these challenges. But that still, no matter whether we go through these challenges or not, does not make them real. That's a hard thing for us to understand. But our bodies are not our reality. Fear is not our reality. The illusions are not our reality. So the only way we're ever going to know this, truly know it, while we abide, as the Course would say, where we are not at home, within this world, within this illusion, is to replace the thought or the duality, the fear, the anger, the hate, with the truth. There is no will but God's. And sometimes it's just repeating it. Sometimes it's just beginning to reintroduce it back into a mind that is very confused and believes there could be another way and another will. And so we begin the process, this idea for today, and that's why it can be regarded as the central thought towards which all our exercises are directed. It's directed at correcting us from all the ancient learning we have built up to think opposite to the truth. And it takes a while for us to get there. So we got 365 lessons. Most of us don't do it in a year. Most of us take an awful long time to get this, and it will be a lifetime work. You know, people who study the Bible, they're not just, oh, I read that, I'm done with that book. If you see people have their Bibles out for forever, right? Right up to the very end of this particular experience, perhaps in this body, and they're still looking through it, right? They're still holding tight to it. And that probably will be the same thing as it will be for all of us. We will have, whether it's A Course in Miracles or whatever form of spiritual truth you hold on to, this will be your path, your guide for so much of your life. But I don't know what we would do if we didn't have it. You know, it gives us a barometer, it gives us a rudder, it gives us a guidepost to kind of come back to. We wander off, but we can never get too far away. You know, we're brought back to it. And that's why this is the idea. It's a central idea towards which these exercises are directed. Whether or not we totally get it, yet this is what we need to keep in mind. As it says here, God's is the only will. We've made so many other wills, and if you start thinking about it, you'll see that you have other things that dominate your thought, dominate your mind as to who you are, as to what the world is, as to what is right and wrong. Rarely is it this one loving nature of God, this one abiding, overreaching truth. But that's okay. We're getting there. We're better than we were. God's is the only will, not all these other wills, but we have so many wills throughout our day. But this is the only will. When we have recognized this, well, then we have recognized that our will is his. So, if you get that, if we recognized our will was his, we probably wouldn't be here anymore. Okay? So we're not there yet, and that's okay, right? It's okay. This is a process for us to go through. The belief that conflict is possible, it says when we actually recognize this, will be gone. And peace has replaced the strange idea that you are torn by conflicting goals. As an expression of the will of God, you have no goal but his. So that is the truth. At first to be but said and accepted as partly true and rejected a whole lot. And then more and more to make sense to us and to become a part of us, as the lessons in the Course will often tell you.